Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy, and today we're going to be trying out the new Golem EX from the recent 151 set. And I am looking forward to seeing how this goes because Golem has never really had any good cards as long as it's been a Pokemon somehow, but this new one actually has some pretty promising attributes to it. So first of all, it's a massive 330 HP stage 2 with a usually irrelevant weakness, but its first attack does 50 damage, and during your next turn, Golem's attacks do 120 more to your opponent's active Pokemon. So if we just use this attack turn after turn, we're doing 170 damage. Or if we use double turbo energy for the second attack, we're going to be doing 280 damage. But the big card we are trying to abuse with Golem EX has to be Cheryl here, because we heal off all the damage from each of our evolutions and discard any energy from those Pokemon that were healed. So what this means is if our opponent swings on us and doesn't knock us out, which is likely since we have 330 HP, we can heal off all the damage, slap back a single fighting energy down, and continue that 170 attack with our Golem EX turn after turn. So that's the general gist of the deck we have going on here today. And before we get any deeper into this video, if you guys need any code cards to complete this deck or any others, feel free to pick some up from our friends over at PTCGLstore.com. Use coupon code RARECANDY at checkout for a discount, and Rare Candy's patrons not only had early access to this deck list, but also have their own exclusive discount code for even bigger savings. Links to those will be down below in the description. But jumping back into our deck list, guys, the rest of our Pokemon is very streamlined. It's basically just a bunch of draw effects. We have a massive 3/3 line of Burrell, which is definitely thicker than we're used to seeing. But since we are trying to use Cheryl, we're going to be leaning a little bit more heavily on these Industrious Incisors abilities to be able to still draw cards every single turn. And since we are playing the thick count of Burrell, we also have 2 copies of Skwovet in the deck for the Nest Stash ability. Now, truth be told, we really just want to make sure we have at least one of these in play, but if you do have 2 Burrells and 2 Skwovets, you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to see a lot of cards every turn with both of your Industrious Incisors abilities. But taking a look at our supporters that aren't Cheryl, we actually don't play that many. As you can see, our only draw supporters are going to be 3 Iono and 1 Avery, which definitely is a little bit sketchy. But if you notice, we have these 4 supporters, 4 Aromas, 4 Ultra Balls, and the 3 Burrells. So really we have a ton of outs to drawing cards, and once we get Burrell established, we really don't need draw supporters that frequently anyways. But to help with this a little bit more, we do also have a Pal Pad to recycle some of our supporters. For our stadium of choice, we have 3 copies of Path to the Peak, which is pretty important because Golem's kryptonite is being able to be one-shot, really. And Path is really good against some of these decks that do have ways to one-shot you, whether it's Gardevoir, Champao, even Miraidon in some cases. This can sometimes prevent your opponent from doing what they need to do to be able to one-shot your Golem. And that's really the aim with this deck. We just want to force our opponent into 2-shotting us so we can abuse Cheryl. And to round out our deck list today, we have 8 basic fighting energy and 3 double turbo energy. So this will at least allow us to use that second attack on Golem EX every now and again. And also it does kind of double up as a switching method for us if Burrell does find its way stuck in the active spot or something like that too. But that's going to be the list we are trying out today, guys. Just be sure to smack that like button for me to feed that always hungry YouTube algorithm. And let's jump in some games and see how this Golem EX deck is going to do. Okay, not a bad opening hand, even though we have like no supporter ready to go. We do have the Burrell. Luckily, our opponent is going to mulligan, but okay, some sort of fire deck. So something with Charizard. I think that's a safe assumption here. I actually don't think Charizard's going to be a bad matchup for us, though, because they can't really ever one-shot us unless we get down to a single prize left. So we just have to be careful to avoid playing, you know, taking some of these, being put on odd prizes, essentially. Or unless they play like Defiance Band or something like that. But yeah, otherwise we just need to make sure our last 2 prizes are on a Charizard. Now, other question is, are they playing Arceus? Because that would definitely be a big help for us too. Okay, there's Charmander. Energy Recycler, interesting. Okay. I feel like Super Odd's like maybe just better, but maybe they have some other shenanigans in here I don't know about. So just a 2-card hand left. I'm willing to bet one of these is going to be a supporter. So let's just Aroma before we do anything else here. Kind of wish that would have been a Tails, I'm not going to lie. We did prize we prized Graveler and a Golem. Okay. We do have all of our draw supporters. That's nice. We did prize a path. Kind of would like a 4th path for situations like this. Like, maybe you guys can cut like an energy for a 4th path. I think that would definitely be good here. I'm actually going to grab nothing here, because I don't want to grab a second barrel, then we get Iono'd and lose both our ways of drawing cards. So yeah, we're just going to go for Bidoof. Level Ball, grab Geodude. I think we're just going to attach back here in case they do get a KO on the active. We'll get Squove it down and just pass over to our opponent. And a research. Kind of wish they would have hit us with the Iono. Wouldn't have minded our hand getting refreshed a little bit, but we still have our Barrel, so we're good to go. There's gonna be Entei. Now, they did get their fire energy back out of the discard pile, so we might not see a Magma base in play here. Okay, and there's the Charmeleon. So we're probably going to have one more turn before we really get hit with a lot of pressure here. Actually, now I'm kind of wishing I would have grabbed the Golem EX. Because we could, in theory, draw up to, like, keep it in hand when we use Industrious. But honestly, we probably want to Nest Dash. So, yeah, we definitely want to Nest Dash here before using our Barrel. So definitely do this. So we want Rare Candy, Golem this turn, and maybe another Bidoof if we can as well. So Industrious, let's see. Actually might go for a defensive boss this turn. I don't think that seems that bad here. Just to try to buy one more turn. So yeah, we're just going to bring up the Radiant Zard. Has a 3 retreat cost. So it's going to force them to waste like a good bit of energy if they do want to move this guy. And I guess we'll just go for the Stiffen on Geodude here. So honestly, not like a great turn if we're being honest. I mean, I guess we could have played Avery to try to set up a little bit more guys, but I feel like this gives us a higher odds of staying alive for a turn. Because they need their Charizard to accelerate 3 energy here, and then an attachment for turn, which it's not completely unreasonable. Okay, they do have it. So they just need to find a Charizard EX, and they will be able to retreat and start taking some KOs with Entei. Actually, maybe what we should have done here is should have actually benched the Manaphy to like be able to promote it here if we don't find a Rare Candy Golem this turn. That actually could have been a little bit better, not gonna lie. But I guess we want to make sure we can start attacking this turn either way, so we would probably want to just promote Geodude and try to get the Candy Golem anyways. Okay, they're gonna Rope. Definitely wishing we would have put Manaphy down now. Like, absolutely. That would have been such an easy decision for us there. And there's Charizard. Okay. Now, if we get another boss, I'm tempted to just keep boss stalling this Radiant Zard. Okay, but this turn we definitely need to make something happen here. Okay, that's a good start to the turn. Yeah, I think we're going to Avery first here. Feels bad. I mean, we could still try to dig for Golem here. I don't think we're going to get there, though, guys. I think we should just play assuming we're not going to hit it. And I think we're just going to plan on using Iono on this next turn. And just pass. So I am happy we didn't draw into Rare Candy or Golem there at the end. Because I don't want to draw into one of those pieces, then lose that with this Iono. So there's going to be Fleet-Footed. We're just kind of hoping they don't boss Barrel here if possible. I mean, we have Iono, so we're not going to have a dead hand, but I would definitely like to keep our Barrel around a little bit here. There's going to be a Pidgey. Don't care about that. But luckily, we do still have plenty of other Bidoofs in deck to be able to get another one set up if we need to. There's going to be a Pidgeotto. So our opponent's having a little bit of a slow start as well, it looks like, which is definitely good for us. I mean, they're still taking prizes, but they don't have like an absolutely broken setup just yet. Oh, but they have a boss. That's the last card in their hand. Are you kidding me? Okay, yep, that's that is annoying. So we need Rare Candy, Golem off of the 6 cards. Okay, Super Odd, that's actually kind of good. I don't really want to draw into those cards right now, though. I think I'm actually going to wait to use the Super Odd. I think it's more important we get the Candy Golem here than get those other cards. Okay, so we have 2 shots to get Golem. So, Aroma. Okay, so we have the Golem and the Bidoof guaranteed. So that's what's up. So we'll actually finally get back in this game a little bit here. So Golem number 1 coming online finally. So we'll level ball here. And I think I will play the Aroma ahead of time as well, because if we get a basic, like if we flip Tails, I still want to thin a basic out of our deck to make it easier to draw into. Okay, cool. So we'll just grab the Barrel preemptively here. So this is actually a pretty successful turn. We're just kind of hoping we don't get Iono'd. But even if we do, we're still getting a new hand of 6, so it wouldn't be the end of the world either. But they could also just boss Bidoof again, which would be really bad because that resets our damage in the process too. So yeah, we really don't want that to happen. I just need them to be chill for like one more turn here. They are down only 1 boss, so they definitely have at least 1 more. And a research, okay. And getting rid of Charizard, also good. So this is definitely good. This gives us another turn to set up another Bidoof, because there is a good chance they just chase down the Barrel every turn to reset our damage. And also, of course, take away our draw engine. We do need to draw back into a fighting energy. That is the next issue we're facing here. Okay, so just 180. Bro, top deck the fighting energy like a boss. Okay, so Cheryl, and now the shenanigans have finally begun. So there's that, and come on, Bidoof. That's what we want here. This is actually a turn where we wouldn't mind hitting the Super Odd now. Okay, speak of the devil. And shutting off Pidgeot is actually pretty good here too. So we'll go Super Odd. We'll just do that and these. I think we're cool leaving the Squova in there. I think keeping energy is going to be more important at this point. And yeah, we'll just smack for 170. Unfortunately, we are like just 10 shy of a KO, which does feel bad, guys, but it is what it is. Our opponent has not gone through any stadiums. That's the one thing I don't like about this, because there's a good chance our path doesn't stick. Now, the good news, they can't use their ability. So, actually, this could be a good turn to... This could be a good turn to boss this Charizard. And try to use this to find our next Cheryl. I actually kind of like that. Okay, level ball, that's pretty good. Definitely like seeing that. Let me double check, make sure it's actually in deck. Yeah, okay, it is in deck. That's good. So, yeah, we're just going to boss the Zard. We just want to try to buy another turn, because we're... Again, I don't think we were going to have good odds of hitting the 1 Cheryl left in deck and another fighting energy off of 3 cards if we hadn't played boss, so... So we'll do this. and just go for the dynamic roll. And again, hopefully we can have our opponent trapped for a single turn here. They already played an escape rope. They could also play a switch. That definitely is possible. However, without Pidgeot, they might not be able to actually find it though. So there's going to be Ultra Ball. What are they going to toss here? Nest Ball and Charmander. Makes sense. Okay, and it passed to us. Cool. So this wound up working out pretty well for us. How many rare candies? We discard this one. We will have one left. I'll say sure. I don't even think we're going to need another rare candy, but let's double check. Make sure we do have another one. Yeah, we do. Cool. Okay, so we need our final Cheryl here. Okay, awesome. So yeah, I think the boss play really put us back in this one here. So from there, we'll go for the Squobit. Now we do need to be careful about getting boss stalled, but I guess we'll never deck out since we have the Squobit. But we're going to be looking for Palpad. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. So let's grab probably just 2 Cheryls, to be honest. We actually might need to get a boss back to avoid the... because the Radiant Zard would really mess us up. Yeah, I think we have to do the one boss, unfortunately. So I'm just going to burn the Aroma here, just because we don't really need it at this point. I wish I knew what our opponent's list was, because there could be a chance that we leave Charizard here and try to deck them. Because they have 2 fire energy there. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's no way they play more than that. Do we go for it, guys? That's risky. I mean, they could just play a switch and ruin our whole day. But then if they do that, we can always just go for the boss stall play again. You know what? I think we're actually just going to do that instead. Because we can't deck out as long as we have a Squobit in play. Okay, there's boss. That's cool. And it passed us. Okay, this is where we're at right now. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. Oh, that is... who plays a Miriam? Oh my god. Okay, that... yeah, that makes things a little bit annoying. What do they have? I mean, if they're just going to attach here, yeah, we're still just passing. Oh, they have more. They have more fire energy. Okay.
1 hour later.
A second Defiance Band. Holy crap. We got some wild stuff in this list here. Yeah, we're just going to pass. I guess we could just start stacking DTEs back here. That actually isn't a bad idea. I'll say sure, we'll actually start doing that. And pass.
1 eternity later.
But that's their final boss, right? Oh no, they might still have one more, but they honestly might not, though, with like how many weird cards they've managed to fit in their list. And that they play a Palpad. I'm willing to bet that's actually their last boss's orders. They do have a 3rd boss, okay. This is actually kind of a play I was worried about a little bit, but yeah, we're just gonna do this. And sure, we'll use Dynamic Roll. So we just win then, right? But yeah, we're just going to pass, and that is going to be the game. So Golem won by not taking a single prize. I am curious to know if we could have won by just playing a more traditional like line of play, but even though our opponent had some really wacky deck inclusions, I think assuming this was a slightly more standard Charizard list, I think we were in a good spot to actually win that one via the stall strat that we were going for. Okay, this is a manageable hand. It's definitely a little bit clunky, but if we could top deck either Golem or Burrell here, that would be good. This is annoying. Anytime I play against Rapid Strike box, I'm just super annoyed. Even though we're a deck that maybe on paper doesn't seem that bad against it, they have so many ways to win this one. Yeah, this just straight up does not seem good for us. Like, the good part about Golem is that it's good against things that can't one-shot it, but the issue is the Rapid Strike deck just picks off everything else that's on your field. Or they just take extra turns and two-shot you anyways. They basically eliminate the engine that you have that allows you to Cheryl and attack every turn. So this could be a match where Avery is good. Well, if they have 2 Remoraid, maybe Avery's not quite as good because they just toss one of those. Okay. This would be a pretty good hand if we now didn't need Manaphy on top of what we have. Like, we have to get Manaphy, which is like the worst part about this. Because if it was any other deck, we could have just saved this Ultra Ball to be able to get our Golem for next turn. And pass. So this is definitely going to be an uphill battle, guys. I don't know if we're going to win with Golem here against like a legitimate deck like this, but we're definitely going to try. Yep, they're already off to the... they're already up to their old Rapid Strike tricks over there. Now, the good news about this deck, though, is that it doesn't usually play any gusting effects. Like, they usually play, like, 1 escape rope. So, once we get Golem in the active spot, there is a good chance it just kind of stays there and keeps swinging. But I'm actually curious how the interaction with Medicham V works. Like, if they... I don't think Medicham stops the damage increase. I'll have to read the card again, but I think it says during your next turn, your attacks do 120. So Medicham isn't taking a turn from you. It's just delaying your next turn, if that makes sense. So we'll see. I'm still not optimistic that we're going to win this one, but we're going to try. Okay, so we get a fighting energy, guys. We can actually start doing some attacks this turn. Okay. That's... okay, we can still live with this. We're still in there, guys. We got the Iono to go with it. We're surprisingly doing stuff. And just gonna Iono. Cool. So we'll go for Aroma here. What do we want now? I think probably just another Geodude while we still can. And yeah, Dynamic Roll. So we just need them to not do a Medicham play or do a play that involves them knocking out Manaphy with Radiant Alakazam and then using Gmax Rapid Flow. It feels like our whole strategy against this deck is just hoping they brick and just whiff stuff that they consistently make happen. Yeah, there's Urshi. I mean... that's cool. Gale Thrust is that Gale Thrust is about to get wiped off the face of the earth with the Cheryl that we have here. Oh, we actually get to heal Burrell too. That's actually pretty saucy. I think our best top deck though would be Golem, because then we could candy into Golem and heal off the damage. Like, we could Ultra Ball, but it's not worth it, guys. Because Path, I think, is too valuable here. Our opponent seems stoked on that. Okay, and Industrious. Let's go. There's a good chance they're able to knock out Manaphy on this next turn. Just trying to think if we get rid of this basic fighting here to be able to evolve. I'm going to say sure. Because I don't want them to be able to knock out Manaphy with, you know, Alakazam or whatever it is that they want to do, and then Gmax Rapid Flow, Barrel, and Geodude. So definitely a pretty good turn that we had there. But of course, unfortunately, Octillery can just search out their tower and give them access to their abilities again. Oof. So, depending on what's in their hand, they could even do a Metacham play this turn if they really want to. Yep, that seems about right. I mean, I guess Manaphy did its job. It sort of protected our bench just long enough to get set up. Okay, but it looks like they're going to save their Rapid Strike Urshi. Interesting. If that's the case, if we can draw into Cheryl fighting yet again, that would be sick. Because it would allow us to heal off this guy too. So we want to top deck Cheryl, then be able to Industrious into fighting. Okay, another Urshi. Okay, so maybe Metacham is prized if that's the reason they're doing all this. I'm like half tempted to just knock out Urshi here before they're able to Cheryl. I'll say sure. Now they could just Melanie and make this all pointless. Okay, and we do get the Path as well to stop Double Gunner. We do have one Cheryl left. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. And I guess just Dynamic Roll. Like, what are the odds that we hit Babera off prizes? I guess actually pretty decent. But do we really want to give them potentially another one of these? Ah, that seems so bad. But if we're going to get down a Squova eventually too, then it might not make that much of a difference. Sure, we'll just do that. Well, maybe this actually wasn't... Okay, we get Cheryl, that's good. Maybe this actually wasn't a great play, though, since... I forgot, we're opening them up a bench space, so they can actually use Metacham. Oh, never mind. But I was saying earlier, they might have prized the Metacham since they haven't searched it out with Octillery. But also could have just been in their hand, too. It's hard to say. Yeah, if Golem survives this turn, we have a really good next turn lined up, too. We have the Cheryl ready to go to heal this guy off. Oh, but if they actually play the escape rope, that feels so bad. They're not going to. Interesting. Okay. I'll take it. So yeah, let's just go for the Cheryl here. Just ruin their whole day. We'll do that. And unfortunately, we didn't hit the other Babera off the prizes there, but just keep swinging for 170. Now, the escape rope is probably going to mess us up this turn, though, just because I feel like there's no reason they wouldn't do it. Because they definitely need to reduce our damage here. Okay, there's Radiant Alakazam. Yeah, there's the rope. I think we just feed them the Bidoof at this point. So we've gone through a good bit of fighting energy. So we're going to need to find Super Rod pretty soon here too. The boss here is pretty relevant. It makes me just want to save this hand because if we don't get Iono'd, we just win next turn. So we're just going to go for the dynamic roll here. And all we have to do is boss this Inteleon, and that's game. But if they boss, which I'm not anticipating them doing, that'd be bad. If they Cheryl, that would also be horrendous for us. Yeah, or Iono. This is like the 3 supporters we just don't want to see from them this turn. Oh, but they don't have Medicham prized? Interesting. I feel like I'd have to go back and look at this game again, but it definitely feels like they missed a turn somewhere where they could have done some Medicham shenanigans. Okay, guys, but we somehow took down Rapid Strike Urshifu and Inteleon. I was not counting on that whatsoever, but yeah, kind of a crazy game. Again, I'd have to go back and rewatch this footage, but I'm not sure if I played this one right in certain parts, but it definitely feels like it should have been sketchier than it actually was, if that makes sense. But hey, I'm not going to turn down the dub. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it today for our look at Golem EX. In terms of my overall thoughts on this deck, it definitely still feels like it's a little bit shy of where it needs to be. Like, this card is pretty cool if your opponent can't one-shot you, but right now you have Gardevoir decks that have ways at one-shotting you, Giratina decks that can one-shot you, Qianpao, even Miraidon can with Raichu V. So I think it's just really hard to make use of this tanking strategy right now, but if you can, you definitely are going to have a pretty good time. But if you did enjoy today's content, of course, feel free to leave a like on the video. And if you're feeling a little bit extra generous, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.